if I've learned anything from being forced to deal with musicians my entire life, it's that we have a hard time doing anything or being anywhere on time. And that even comes with open basic chords. So today we're talking all about rhythm, we're talking about timing, and we're talking about some tips that you can do for the stuff that is usually a stumbling block for beginner intermediate players. All right? And that first thing we're going to talk about is the B minor chord. Okay? Now, B minor is kind of a curveball for a lot of people when they first start out. When you learn your open chords, usually you learn like G major, C, D, stuff like that. A minor, E minor, everything's going great, and then it's like, oh God, B minor does it, right? So we're gonna kind of do some hacks, some cheats. I'm gonna cheat this just a little bit. Learn some easier ways to play B minor that are actually, in my opinion, more functional to do, okay? This video is sponsored by Soundbrenner, who make this incredible smart watch, which is gonna come in handy a little bit later on in the video. So stay tuned for that because this thing is amazing. But first I want to talk about the lesson that we're doing here, all right? So B minor is only in 3 different keys. It is the 3 chord in the key of G, which is probably where most people see it, right? What I mean by the 3 chord is there's only 7 notes in any key. The key of G, the people's key, right? There's a G major chord. There's 7 different notes in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. Each one of those notes become a chord. G major is the 1 chord. A minor is the 2 chord. B minor is the 3 chord. C is 4. D is 5. E minor is 6. Then we have an F sharp diminished chord that nobody really ever uses is 7 and home. Okay? So a lot of times people are going to see that B minor chord in a song in the key of G. That's where we first encounter it most of the time. Like I said, there are 2 other chords, but I want to focus on this key first. All right? So one of the hard things to do is because when you're first starting out, you're just trying to get your fingers to come straight down and get good tone out of all the strings. But then once you have to do what we consider a bar chord, it almost seems like your whole hand has to kind of change and get in different spots, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to eliminate the bar chord aspect of it. So really just take this G major chord right here, middle finger, 3rd fret on the low E string, pointer finger, 2nd fret on the A string, ring finger, 3rd fret on the B string, right? And all we're going to do is move your middle finger, okay? And we're going to move it to the 2nd fret on the G string, like this, okay? Now technically, this is going to be a B minor 7 chord, but B minor 7 chords are better than B minor chords anyway. I just said it. Come at me in the comments if you disagree. And I'm sure some of those B minor truthers will, right? But the really easy thing to practice is you can do this just by moving one finger, like this, right? Just swing it, middle finger from the 3rd fret, the G on the E string, the 2nd fret on the G string, the A, right? And at the end of this lesson, we're going to do like a guided practice thing where we just practice drilling this, which I think is really helpful. But right now, I want you to just think of this right here. And then moving to other chords in that key, all right? So this is going to be a really easy way just to go from 4 of the main chords in this key, just move around. G major, B minor, 7, C to D. Okay, now the C chord also, maybe you've seen this voicing before. It's technically a C add 9 chord, but we can always use it as a C chord, right? Now, how this is going to sound different, I'll just do an example. If we're just doing this chord progression with the traditional voicings of each chord, it would be like G, B minor, C, D. Like this, it's G, B minor, 7, C add 9, D. The difference sonically is negligible, but it can make all the difference when you're a beginner just kind of trying to navigate these and getting there on time, okay? I actually did another video called Secrets in the People's Key that I will link in the description if you guys are interested, because it talks about just anchoring your ring finger there and moving around. But getting there on time is the key, right? Enter the Soundbrenner metronome watch, but it's not just a metronome, it's actually just a full smartwatch. I remember I had their Pulse when it came out a long time ago, and basically one of the worst things that I can definitely relate to is practicing with the metronome and just hearing that annoying click and getting lost, okay? Cool thing about this is it attaches to your smartphone too. You still get your notifications and everything. But there's like a metronome setting on here. And once you just kind of like set the tempo, it'll just vibrate. So you can kind of feel what's going on. So right now the tempo is just set to like 104, 105-ish, right? And you can change the color and stuff too. But then you can kind of just feel like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the thing about just like having a pulse type feel to that, and then to stop it, you just like double click the front. And the advantage of that, aside from just it being annoying, having to practice to a click, is when you feel it, I feel it's much easier to slip back into the groove as compared to like when you're on a click metronome. Once you get on like a click, once you get off of it, it just becomes like just a million clicks just flooding your brain, and it's hard to get back on. The nice thing about just having like a pulse that you're always locking into is you can come in and out of it really quick. So I'll link you to this in the description if you guys are interested. They sponsored this video, so thanks a lot. Another really cool thing about this is you can actually take the watch off of the band, and then this is amazing. You can affix it to a little thing on the back of your guitar, right? And then it just becomes a tuner. So it's like a tuner that you have with you everywhere, and it's just magnetized, and you affix it on, off. Pretty cool. So it's really not just a metronome. You get notifications. There's a stopwatch, other features and stuff like that too. Really cool. Different bands and stuff, of course, as is expected. So we're gonna do a guided practice there, but I want to talk about another way to play a B minor that will actually be very helpful with any song that you ever play for the rest of your life. All right. So it all comes down to this voicing right here. B minor 11. Okay? Now, some people will argue that a minor 11 chord is not a chord that beginners should know, but I'm going to push back severely on this because minor 11 chords are really the best chords ever, all right? I learned this chord voicing has saved me through like these marathon gigs that I've done. They're so much easier than bar chords. So just to hear it, it looks like this. My middle finger is on the 7th fret, the B, on the low E string right here. I'm skipping the A string. I'm actually kind of muting the A string, which you'll naturally do with your middle finger just because it's going to kind of lay across that string. My ring finger and my pinky are on the D and the G string, okay? Now my pointer finger is going to grab the 5th fret on the B string. So it's 7, skip, 7, 7, 5. And then I'm not really hearing the high E string either. Okay, so that's the sound of a minor 11, B minor 11. If you don't have your pointer finger there, that's a B minor 7. This right here is another voicing of what we played earlier. Right? It sounds a little bit different in a different register, but the gist of it. And then getting that minor 11 is always going to sound good as a replacement for any minor chord you'll ever see. So the advantage there is we can actually move this on any note. B minor 11, B flat minor 11, A minor 11, A flat minor 11, G minor, so on and so forth. Anywhere you want to just root that middle finger. Now, why it's great in the key of G too is you lead with your middle finger in this key a lot. Like we did in that earlier thing, right? Remember, most of these chords, your middle finger is just leading all over the place. So, too much leading. We can use this, and then think of the shape of your hand, and then move this 4 frets higher, 2 full steps higher, and it really kind of sits in line with that voicing. And then you can also do that on another chord in this key, A minor 11. Right? This works in any key. You just have to find the minor chord that you're looking for. Say you're in the key of A major and there's like a C sharp minor. Don't even get me started on C sharp minor. People have a hard enough time with B minor. Once they see C sharp minor, it's like, I'm out. Just learn that C sharp is the 9th fret on the E string and then put that shape on it, and it's a lot easier, right? So now what we're going to do G major to B minor 11 to A minor 11 to G major, okay? So we have 2 distinctly different ways of playing some of the stuff that people get caught up on when they're trying to play it. We're going to do it with the metronome watch, so it's going to be steady. You can play along at home and bookmark the video and just come back to this part if you just want to get some practice. Or just, you know, get yourself a watch or metronome or whatever, and then just make up your own exercises and drill the things that you're having trouble with, okay? We're going to start with just that 4-chord progression. G to B to C to D. Technically, once again, G major to B minor 7 to C at 9 to D. But if people are going to give you a hard time, those aren't the people you want to hang out with anyways. Trust me on that one. Just trust me on that one. And then we're going to go over some different strumming patterns too, right? So again, I'm gonna engage the mechanism right now, okay? So again, what did I say? We're at 1. Yeah, let's go like 107-ish. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And at the very least, you could just play the downbeat, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, B, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, D. Or you could add a strumming pattern like a 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. So however you want to practice along with this, just try to get on that downbeat. And the thing about the watch too is like the downbeat has like a double vibration, so there's an accent in the way that it's kind of hitting you. You're feeling it. Also comes with like a body strap for drummers, or if you don't want a visible watch, you could like wrap it around like your leg, your chest, or your arm, or whatever. I remember I did the one before, the predecessor to this wasn't really a smart watch. It was just like just a band with a metronome on it. That came in super handy for shooting music videos, because if you're doing a music video, you have to like lip sync something, and it might not be the same tempo as like the real song unless you have like a really good speaker system. So you just set it to whatever tempo the actual song is at, and then lip sync it to that tempo, and that actually worked out great. But again, a lot of people might not be interested in that, but that helped me out. Just wanted to say that. So we're gonna do this for a while. Feel free to come along and do it, and we're gonna start right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, B, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, G, B, C, D. Remember, it's too fast, just one strum. G, 2, 3, 4, B, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, D. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, C, 2, 4, and D. Remember, focus on your lead finger first. Your middle finger is doing most of the work here. Your ring finger just plants there the whole time. More times. And then end on G. Okay, so now let's do the same thing. Let me stop this. Just gonna click on here, double tap, get to stop. Now we're just gonna go G major to B minor 11 to A minor 11 over and over again. Right? So let's engage this guy again. Oh, I just got a text message on here. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, B minor, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4 again. G, 2, 3, 4, B, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, B. Now you can drag it or just jump to this spot. G, 2, 3, 4. Notice I'm leaving a little early because you want to arrive on the downbeat. It's not about leaving at a certain time, it's about arriving at a certain time. If you're a true G, people don't even remember when you leave. You just slip out uncovered. But when you get there, A, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, B, A, 2, 3, 4, and G. Okay, so those are just some ideas on just kind of some stuff you might want to try out, some different ways to practice. Again, if that's too fast, to slow down, but just get that shape. Because the shape, like think of a G major shape to a minor 11 shape, again playing them back to back, is interesting, but not technically in any one key. It's just a good way to kind of get that form in your hand, and then giving yourself a deadline to force your hand to be ready to get to the next spot is one of the best, absolute best ways to kind of move around the fretboard and really get that timing solid. It's all about getting on that downbeat first. Anything you do after is not as impactful as arriving on time. Punctuality. If I could teach any musician out there one skill to have that's going to help them in life and beyond, punctuality. Because so few musicians can get to places on time. Doesn't matter if you're good or not. You can suck at guitar. I'm arguably just decent at guitar, but guess what? I show up everywhere on time, and I keep getting gigs. So that's the one thing that I will give you. So some people might need to watch for doing that. So thank you to Soundbrenner for sponsoring this video. I've got an affiliate link in the description if you guys are interested. And if you want more guided lessons and stuff, I have a lot of those on my Patreon, so check that out too. And rocking the Cort Gold A6 out today. So if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.